Griffon Sports Insider is presented by Mosaic Life Care. Hello and welcome. New year, same old us. Ryan, Brett, first GSI of 2015, reunited, and it feels so good.
Boy, it does. And I feel older, too. Do you feel older? New year?
I always feel older.
I'll tell you what, Missouri Western basketball wastes no time in getting rolling. The Griffons enter this week in the middle of a 4-game and 7-day gauntlet stretch in MIAA play.
A brutal MIAA stretch. The men back home for 2 games this Thursday and Saturday after opening up the new year with a pair of road trips, more than 300 miles traveled in 2 days, and it took its toll. Missouri Western men opening 2015 at Washburn. The Griffons not starting the new year with a bang. Quite the opposite, in fact. Ice cold in the first half, just 25% shooting. Washburn on the opposite end of that spectrum. They couldn't miss, and that's not good if you're Western. Kyle Wiggins somehow drops that. Coach Brett Weiberg livid, and this would not make him any happier. Ichabod's forced the turnover. Wiggins finishes again. He had 16 points. Ichabod shot 53% in the first half. They take a 40-18 lead to halftime. That's a hard hill to get over. One of the few bright spots for Western this game, freshman Cole Clearman, 5 of 8 from 3 land, career high 19 points for him. Only problem, no one could stop the Ichabods at all the entire night. Alex North, 3 of his 21 points. Washburn nails 10 threes on the night, shot 54% for the game, and they roll Western 85-60. The final, not the way anyone wearing black and gold wanted to start this new year.
You know, Washburn played well, but we didn't play well, and so yeah, it's certainly a disappointing start to coming back from Christmas after I felt like we played pretty well and I felt like we had some pretty good practices. So, but you know, when you don't play hard enough and you're not tough enough, that ultimately comes back to the coach, and so we've got some things that we can fix, and we're going to get on it ASAP.
Monday night, Griffon men 2 days removed from a miserable loss at Washburn, trying to rebound at Nebraska Kearney. The thing is, though, it's tough to win in Kearney, Nebraska. The Lopers 17-3 in their last 20 home games. The Griffons just 1 win in their last 15 road games, but this is why they play the game. Western down 9 at halftime, grinding away. Freshman Curry Bird pads his rebounding stats, gets a 3-point play. He had 9 points off the bench. We're tied at 52 with 7 minutes to go. From there, game on. Other end, Kearney's Connor Baranek, 19 points, 11 rebounds, talking trash while he's doing it. Lopers reclaim the lead. Back and forth we go. Under 3 to play, Kevin Thomas to Hans Thun, and to steal a phrase, booyah! The Griffons are pumped. They're up 1. 31 seconds remaining now. We're tied at 67. Lopers with the ball. Shot clock off. Thomas, the big man, comes up huge on D. That's off Kearney. The Toronto native had 16 points, 4 assists to go along with a good D. Griffons get the ball. Brett Weiberg says go to the go-to guy. Trez Colbert, that go-to guy. Final seconds, good drive, good look, but no good. Kearney's last second desperation heave draws air, so we are headed for overtime. Extra period, though, all Western. More from the big man. Knocks the ball away again. Colbert has it. This time he'll finish it. Colbert, 23 points on the night. Next possession, freshman Cole Clearman banks open late. Griff score the first 6 points of overtime and never look back. They stun the Lopers for an 81-77 OT victory. Every role player filled their role to perfection on Monday.
Guys just stepped up and played well tonight, and you know, we played as a team tonight.
I don't think you can take for granted any of those guys. Those guys all wanted to come out, from Kevin Thomas to Zach Price, to try to right a wrong. And
that game right there was a statement game, man. Washburn, we didn't play our game against Washburn, so we had to bounce back.
Yeah, defensively, I mean, I made up for the little misses, the little tip misses that I was missing on offense, but defensively I brought it because, I mean, got to contribute. That's a defensive game.
3 minutes left in regulation. Was the bank intentionally open on that shot?
I work on that every day. I mean, I knew that was going there. I just forgot to call it, you know?
Nick McCutcheon here with a very happy head coach, Brett Weiberg. Call it night and day, call it Jekyll and Hyde, whatever you want. We saw a different team here tonight than what we saw a couple nights ago in Topeka. What's changed?
You know, I don't think anything's changed as much as just our effort. You know, I mean, the kids were embarrassed about how they played, and that's a good sign. We came knowing that this can't be who we are. We have to come ready to play, and they did. So the kids understood what was at stake, kind of just in terms of character and in terms of representing our school. And we just talked about the whole thing leading up to it was play the right way, you know, and they did.
It's a gutsy win to fight back like that, but maybe most importantly, it's a road win. Just talk about how important that is for you early in league play to get a big road win like this.
Yeah, I think two things for a program and two things for this year. I mean, the first thing is it was a road win against probably a team that's going to finish fairly high in the league. And then secondly, we were down by 9 at half, and so it was a league win when we were down, and we're able to come back, take the lead, and finish the game off. So from those two standpoints, it's big.
It's going to be a very happy road trip home. 3 games in a row starting Thursday with Emporia State. You got to feel good, got to be ready to get back home, get back to the field house.
I think the biggest thing is understanding the message that we're going to start sending, and we already have a little bit, is one game at a time. But what an opportunity to try to just do a little bitty small thing and win 2 league games in a row. And this is an opportunity for us to do it.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Have a great trip home. Griffin's big winners here in Kearney tonight. They return home Thursday against Emporia State. GSI will be right back.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome back. Moving to women's hoops now. Rob Edmiston's team along the same path as the Griffon men. 4 games in 7 days, and it is a nationally ranked gauntlet coming to the Fieldhouse this weekend.
Yeah, the Griffs host Emporia State, the #1 team in the nation this Thursday.
Ho-hum.
Yeah, ho-hum, whatever. They host #5 Pittsburgh State this Saturday. Unbelievable. But before we go there, let's go back to an emotionally draining 2-game road trip this past weekend. Happy New Year from the state capital of Kansas. Missouri Western women beginning a 4-game, 7-day MIAA gauntlet. First up, the #8 team in the nation, Washburn. The Ichabod's very good, as always. Honor Duvall, a big reason why. Literally a big reason. She had 16 points. Griff's down 10 early, but battling back. Chelsea Dewey, great look to Tierra Hall. Part of an 11-0 Western run. They go to halftime down 38-33. Washburn would open a double-digit lead early second half, but then LaQuinta Jefferson just goes off. Jefferson back after missing 2 games with a foot injury. Went on an 8-0 run by herself at one point. Would get Western back to within 2. Under 4 minutes to play. Bod's trying to pull away. Taylor Ignato owning the lane. She had 24 points. Washburn by 7. The Griffins still not dead though. Serafina Handy, 3-ball, nets it. She had 16 points. Later, more from Jefferson. 9 of 13 from the floor. She scored 23 of her game high, 25 points in the second half. It's a 2-point game with 1:42 to play, but that's as close as the game would get. 30 ticks left. Griff's down 3 with the ball, but Handy steps out of bounds, turns it over. The Bods nailed their free throws down the stretch, and they survive for a 78-71 victory. Washburn now 11-2 overall. Western falls to 6-4, but a solid effort to start the new year against the #8 team in the country.
No, really proud of our kids' effort. You know, I think there's 3 times in that game we got down 10 or 11 and battled back and got it tied. And you know, I can't fault it. You know, if we can play a little more error-free basketball, cut down on some of our mistakes. You know, basketball tends to favor the team that makes the fewest mistakes.
Monday night takes us to Kearney, Nebraska. The Missouri Western women trying to snap a string of 14 straight road losses. If they do, then maybe this kid will stop being annoying. LaQuinta Jefferson should never stop shooting, ever. The junior coming off 25-point performance in Saturday's loss at Washburn and picking up right where she left off. 19 first-half points for the Murfreesboro, Tennessee native. Only problem, the Griffons couldn't stop the Lopers when the Lopers had the ball. UNK using 54% first-half shooting to take an 11-point lead to the break. Second half, more from Jefferson, though, attacking from all sides. As a wise poet once spouted, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Gets the and one, gets Western back within 6, but the Lopers quickly push their lead back to double digits off the turnover. UNK's Larimeyer Lewis and one. She had 25 points. Griffin's down 12 with 5 minutes to play, but Jefferson far from finished. Bangs home the 3. Western within 2 with under 2 to play. The game comes down to 3 straight possessions. Same score. Lopers trying to go up 4, but Mariah Jordan with a big block on one end. That starts the break. Who else is leading it but Q Jefferson? And she had a career high 40 points on 14 of 26 shooting. We're tied at 78 with just over a minute to play. Lopers next possession. Mackenzie Brown left open. Bang. UNK regains the lead, and that's the difference. Western drops another heartbreaker. 86-81 the final. A spectacular performance by Jefferson, overshadowed by the Griffins' 3rd straight loss. They're now 6-5 overall, 1-4 in MIAA conference play.
Jessica Cook here for GSI. I'm here with Rob Edison, head women's basketball coach. Now, Coach, just kind of talk about these last 2 games. It was the start of the year, not exactly how you wanted to start, defensively especially. Kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in that aspect because it's something I take a lot of pride in. I've always been able to get my teams to defend at a high level and a consistent level. And in these last 2 games, you know, we've put ourselves in a position to tie ball games with a minute and a half or less and then don't get stops. And some of that's based on, you know, I look at defense, how many points we're giving up overall. But in the end, you know, you can give up 80 or 85 points on a given night, but can you get stops at the right time? And so part of our problem is we're giving up too many points. But then when you put yourself in a position to win, like we did at Washburn with a minute left, game tied. Tonight, late in the game tied, and then they hit a big 3. You know, it's just discouraging. It's really disappointing.
Highlight of these last 2 games, obviously LaQuinta Jefferson having some huge nights. 25 the first night, 40 tonight. Kind of talk about her impact on the team, what we can do to embrace her. Well,
it's a tough thing because it's really hard to acknowledge like you would like to an individual great performance, because if your team doesn't win, then kind of what's the good of it? Q would be the first to tell you she would trade the 25 and the 40-point game in for 2 victories. She would rather score nothing and see our team win, and that's where I feel for her, because obviously she's having to carry too much of a load right now. And unfortunately, because there are players around her that are capable, and those kids have got to step up and take ownership of their responsibility to help this team be better. We're getting in what I call a little bit of the Michael Jordan syndrome, where we're standing around and watching Q play, and that's not a good thing.
Moving forward, you've got Pitt State, you've got Emporia. All right, some really tough matchups. Okay, you've had 2 tough matchups previously, but talk about what we need to do in order to kind of overcome that competition. What we're going to need to do to beat them.
You know, we're getting ready to play the #1 team in the country, the #7 team in the country, and then, you know, Central comes in, they're a top 25 team. So it comes down to this: if you want to win big games or any games, you have to defend, rebound, and make free throws. And where we're struggling right now is defending consistently. We're putting the other team to the free throw line way too many times. And tonight, we had too many turnovers. And to win big games, you got to defend and rebound and take care of the ball. Once this team understands that, and we've had a couple games where we did. You know, it's not like we're looking for, well, when can we do it or when have we done it? We did it against Northeastern, where we just completely locked down, and I thought our kids got it. But right now, unfortunately, we are what I call a sometime team. Sometimes we get it done, sometimes we don't. Those teams can be competitive, but they don't win big games.
Come out to the Fieldhouse this week. Good games. Emporia State comes on Thursday, 5:30, 7:30, and then Pittsburgh State Saturday afternoon, 1:30, 3:30.
It should be a good game on the men's side, and the women's side, a dynamic game with two nationally ranked teams. Emporia ranked #1 on the women's side, Pitt ranked #5 on the women's side.
Time to come out to the Fieldhouse too. Time to have some good crowds here.
Yeah, it is time. It's time to get heated up with basketball. That is GSI for this week. We're just getting heated up for the new year. We'll get even hotter next week.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, go Griffs.